guys, and welcome back to part 6 of our e-commerce app. And in this video what we are going to do is that we'll implement the product details screens. Okay, and over here let's say this is the detailed screens that we have. In the previous video we did the implementation, like we did the part where we navigate to this point, and now from this section what we'll do is that we'll start working on this screen. This screen looks pretty straightforward to implement, so let's just get to the code and start implementing it. Okay, so what I'll do is that over here in the presentation layer, in this UI section, we have right now only this feature slash home. Okay, so let's create a new package, call it feature dot product details. Okay, so I have this feature done. And now what we need to do is that we'll create a new class, and I'll call it product details view model. That is going to be our view model class, and I'll call it to be a view model so that it's life cycle aware. And the other thing is that I'll just go over here and I'll create a file with the name of product details screen. Okay, and over here we'll do is that we'll create a composable, and I'll create function product details screen like this. Okay, and this is basically going to be getting a nav controller, right? Along with the nav controller it will be getting a product, that is going to be UI product model. And that last thing is that it is going to get is that it is going to have a view model as Koin view model. Okay, now since we mentioned this is Koin view model, we need to define it in the dependency as well. So I'll get over here, and then over here I'll create a view model, and we'll do this. Sorry, not this right now, that's this. Okay, that is done. Okay, now the first thing is that we'll break down our screen over here. That you can see that I have a screen where on top we mostly have these buttons, that icons that we have, and in the bottom side we have this whole structure where we have this kind of a stuff that is in front of each other, right? And then we have the review section, then we have description like this, and then they have this sizes, right? For now maybe we can skip this because we don't have the implementation or our backend, but just for the UI sake I'll just implement it so that you guys can see how we are going to implement these. Okay, now let's just get started. Okay, so over here I'll call it column. Okay, and that column is going to be getting modifier dot fill max size so that it covers everything. Secondly is that this is going to contain a box as well, and the box is basically for our image part of section, right? So basically over here we'll create an image, let's say not fill max size, sorry, but what we will do is that we'll create an image, async image over here, that is going to be product dot image, right? The description is going to be null, and the rest of part should be like this. Secondly, for content scale, what we can do is that maybe we can content scale dot crop for now. Okay, that is done. Second thing is that I'll go modifier dot fill max size so that it covers everything. Okay, that is the image, right? Second thing is that we want some icons beside, like we want some icons on top and right section. So what I'll do is that I'll create an image as well, and for those images they are not going to be bitmap, rather it's going to be painter resource, but we need some resources, like we need those icons that we have. So what I'll do is that I have already made some progress with that. So I have favorites, and I see back button already formatted, so I'll just copy those and paste it over here. You can use the same mechanism where we export the SVG and import it inside the app. And now what I'll do is that we'll call it painter resource r dot drawable dot IC back as a first image. Okay, and content description null for now. And now we need to do some stuff to make it look like it's looking better. Like, so the first thing is that we need to be adding some padding to it to have some spacing from top, or you can just add 16.dp. It doesn't matter because it's a box, so and it's not linked with anything else. That is the first space, that the first section that it will do. Second thing is that I want to assign some size to it. Let's say 48 dp. Next thing is I'll clip it, and the clip is going to be a circle shape, so that is for circle. Then I'll add some background color to it, and that is going to be my light gray color, right? So I'll use light gray dot alpha, and that alpha is going to be, sorry, not alpha, dot copy, and then that alpha is going to be 0.54f. Okay, that's another thing. And then we'll add some padding inside the image so that it's just like doesn't cover the whole circle. And last but not least, that will align it to top start. Okay, and let's just import this. Okay, now this image is done. The second thing is that we need to get the another image, and that is going to be IC favorites, right? And we'll do the same for everything other than this. We just use it to be top end so that it goes to the right side, top right side of this screen. Okay, that is one thing which is done, and now this box stuff is complete. Okay, so the second thing is that we'll create a column again over here now, and that column is supposed to have covering modifier is equals to modifier dot fill max size, so that it covers the screen. And now what we will do is that we'll create a row. Okay, and that row is basically for the title and for the uh, price. Okay, and over here what I'll do is that I'll go modifier dot fill max width. Okay, and now over here we have two different things. The first thing is that we need to define a text. Okay, and this text is going to be product dot title, and let's use some styling. I'll import material theme, and now this is going to be title medium. Okay, and along with that I'll add the weight dot copy, that is going to be font weight equals to semi bold. That is one thing. There is one more thing that I would like to do, and that is to add a weight as 1f. Okay, and I'll tell you why I'll add 1f. The second thing that I would like to do is that I'll create a price. Right, for now just the pricing, we need to fix that pricing issue for now, but let's just do it this way. Okay, and what else can we do over here? I guess we can do a couple of more things, like the product name should be one liner, or let's just allow it to be multiple lines for now. Okay, that is done, and the price is done. We need to define the color for this, so I'll use color material theme dot color scheme dot primary. Okay, this is the part for that structure, and now the title section is done. So basically this specific section is done. The second one is to add this specific section for reviews. So I'll just get out of that. So I'll just get out of that row and then I'll create another row. And again, the same structure for this as well. We'll use fill max width for this. Okay. And now over here, what we will do is that first thing that we need is we need an image, right? And that is going to be painter resource r dot drawable dot star. But we don't have the star. So what we need to do is that we need to get that star. So I'll just get that SVG over here and keep it. Now you can see that I got the IC star. Okay. So star is done. The next thing is that let's just add some spacer to it, right? And that is going to be 4 dp. Second thing is ratings. Right now we don't have the ratings, so I'll just add some dummy ratings to this. And along with that, we also want this review section. So this is going to be as per the design. If I follow that, okay, this is going to be body small, right? And the color should be the way it is, but we want that to be semi bold. Okay, and this is going to be gray. And let's add some these sections as well to this and call it 10 reviews. Okay, and that is going to be gray, I guess, and that is going to be bodies, that is going to be body small as well, and we'll copy and use the same semi bold. Okay, and there is just one more thing that we should do, and that is to align these items vertically as well. Okay, that is done. Okay, the next thing is to add some description. So I'll use this, but before adding the description, I'll add a spacer as well. Okay, so this will add some space and then it will show the description to us. With description, there is a little bit of stuff that we would like to do. The first thing is that we need a title. So I'll call it title medium. Okay, and for padding, I'll say just add some padding to the start because we already have this on top of it. Okay, that is the title. The second thing is going to, oh sorry, this is not going to be this, it's going to be description. Okay, TIUN. Okay, that is done. Second thing is that we need to add some spacer again so that it's leaving some space from there. And then over here, this is going to be the description. So for this, I'll do this. I'll add, like, reduce the style size, and along with that, what else I want is that I want to have like min lines at least 3 so that it leaves some space. And for max lines, I want this to not go above 6 lines. Okay, this is just my specification. It doesn't have to be like this, but just to be like the description covering all the screen, so it will look really bad, right? And for color, since the color for this is basically gray, so I'll use color. Okay, we need to add a copy. Color is equals to gray. I guess that's pretty much for the description. I don't find anything else to be added. Okay, the next thing is again a title for size. So I'll just copy the one that I added. Maybe I can just copy this whole structure over here and paste it. Okay, this, and then over here I'll call it size. Okay, and inside this, like since we have like different sizes and different stuff, what I'm gonna do is that I'll go repeat 3 or maybe 5. Let's, okay, so I'll just repeat it, and over here let's just create this, but let me just create a new composable for this. So let's create and call it function size item. I guess sounds good. This pretty much I guess what we want. I don't see any issue with this whole structure other than the light gray. It's going to be transparent, right? And along with the transparent, what else I want is that this should not be circle shape, it should be round corner shape, right? And that round corner shape should have 8 dp as well. And also I'll add some borders to it, right? And borders, what I'll do is that we'll use this. Sounds good, I guess, right? Okay, and now I'll use this size item over here, and I'll use something like this. Let's just keep it this way, right? Now the size portion is done. Now we have this last section. The last section is going to be the buttons, right? So we'll just create a spacer, then I'll create a box. The reason for creating the box is that basically now I want to cover everything, like whatever space is available. Let's say if it's small size, I don't care. If it's larger size, I don't care. So I'll get fill max size, or maybe let's call it raw, because we have this design. Now inside this raw, what I'm gonna do is that I'll create a button, okay? And this button is going to be having a text inside it that says buy now, okay? And then we'll have a spacer for maybe, right, something like this. And then again another button that says, that is like an image, not an, so I'll over here, or you can call it icon button, so that it says like this. And then we'll go to pointer resource r dot drawable dot IC card that we have, and null for this, okay? But what we have in the design, if you can see in the design, it covers almost like the 70% of the screen, and then this section is just have like 20% or 10%. So what we will do is that we'll adjust it. So to adjust this, what we will do is that we'll add over here, we'll create a modifier, okay? Modifier is equals to modifier dot weight, and I'll call it 1f. So what does this 1f mean is that it will create an image with this section, with this image, right? And it will add this space, leave this space, and rest, other than that, whatever size that is available, like whatever the space that is available, it will cover it with that 1f, okay? So that's why I've added this weight to it, and we might want add some padding to this image as well, because without padding it will be just small button. So I'll just add some padding, and that padding is at least, so horizontally it should be at least 16.dp on both sides. And what else do we have? There is just one more thing that I want inside this, and that is to have have some colors for those, but for that button. So I'll add colors, and then I'll go for button defaults dot button colors dot copy, and then the container color is going to be light gray dot alpha, and that is going to, sorry, light gray dot copy, and then alpha is going to be 0.4, okay? So that it icon button colors, okay, we can call it icon button colors dot, okay, let's just go button defaults dot, let's make them icon button default dot icon button colors, and then the container color should be this. So I guess that's pretty much what we have. And now let's just use this inside this main activity, from where we are going to call our product. So I'll go to the main screen, and over here inside this section where I added this box and structure, I'll just get rid of this and use this screens, right? And over inside this, what I'm going to do is that I'll pass the nav controller along with the product root dot product. Okay, now let's just run it and test it to see if what we are saying is actually happening as well. Okay, the product list screen has populated, and now let's just click on this screen. So you can see when I click on this, it opens up, but it covers everything, right? The image goes all over the place. And why does it do that is because probably this image section, this modifier, okay, over here like this, because of this, right? And so what I'm gonna do is that I'll add a weight to this and I'll call it 1F. I guess this should probably fix what we have. Like this issue should be gone by this. The image should adjust according to the available space now. Now let's see if what I'm saying is correct. Now let me click. Okay, looks pretty bad to be honest. Like the other stuff is done. Title looks good. All the things is there are there. There is just one thing is that the image is now not displaying anymore, and that's because it looks pretty good, pretty much normal on what I need. I'll just make one more thing, and that is to add a vertical scroll to this. Remember scroll state. Now let's see if this works. Although it should not be the case for this, but let's hope this fixes the problem that we have. Okay, now you can see that the image is available over here. Like once we add this vertical scroll, you can see that this image is now available. So this basically it's adjusting according to the scroll. Now there is one more catch that I've like created a very wrong way, and that is this repeat size. Since this is a column, and inside the column whatever I create it goes there. So what I'm gonna do is that I'll create a raw, okay, and then inside the raw we'll use this so that it just goes in a horizontal way rather than going in a vertical way. Second thing is this, the background color looks really bad, so we need to fix that as well. So let's just see now that hopefully this will work. Okay, I open it, it adjust according to the screens. And one more bad thing is this as well. So let's just fix these things. Let's just get back to this section, and over here it says that if it's selected, the border should say primary or not. I guess I don't need this. Let's just use gray for each case. And then we have this background that says that you need to add, plus the text color is also there, so I'm just taking out that as well. And there is one more thing that I would like to do, and that is to add padding to the start. Okay, so I'll add this as horizontal, and now this should fix. Secondly, this is also a problem. You see, I don't want this to be here once we open that product details, right? For product detail, I just don't want this. So for product detail, I don't want this, and also this background color for this cart is not perfect. So let's just fix both of them, right? So over here, what I'm gonna do is that I'll create a new wall should show bottom nav, right? And that is going to be remember, sorry, not nav controller, it should be remember mutable state of true. Okay, so by default the value is going to be true for this. And now inside the screens, what we'll do is that we'll set the value for this to be true or false based on what when we want to show this and when we don't want to show it. Okay, so for card screen we want to show, for profile screen we want to show it, but for this screen we don't want to show it, so I'll just false this. Okay, and now over here in this bottom navigation bar, I'll just call it animated visibility, and for that I'm going to use this. For animated visibility would be should show bottom nav dot value, and then enter can be, it's up to you on how you want this, like slide in vertically, but let's just call it fade in, because that might, for that we might need a lot of other stuff as well. Okay, so this time it will be much better. And now we go back to the details screen and see where is this background, why is this gray background coming from where. We don't need the alpha, we want things to be completely transparent, and then this border color should be gray, which is fine. I guess this cool. See if now if we run it, hopefully this time we'll get the desired result on what we want. Okay, I'll open this, and now you can see this background is gone away. We don't have that, and also the image is covering like the 50% of the screen, that like it's adjusting according to what we have. So like let's say if we have a lot of more description and title, the image will be adjusted accordingly. And we have this back button, and these looks really bad in this section, but yes. And I guess that's pretty much for this specific video. We have implemented that detail screen. Let's add like some padding to this and this, like these two have the padding issue. So where is that row for ratings? Over here, horizontal, like padding going to be horizontal, that is going to be 16 dp for this one, and we'll do the same for the button section where we have this. So I'll add this over here. And now there is one thing that is problematic for us. Now let's just run it and see if it works. Now let's open it, and now you'll see that everything is pretty aligned. The buttons are pretty aligned and everything looks pretty good. So this was it for this video. In this video, what we have done is that we implemented the product detail screen, and yes, I hope you liked the video, and if you did, please do subscribe if you haven't. Like the video, comment if you have any question, suggestion or feedback, and I'll see you in the next video. So till then, happy coding, bye.